So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Mars in the 9th house in Cancer for Scorpio Ascendant people, as in what happens when Mars is in the 9th house in Cancer for Scorpio Ascendant folks. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your selected details, check out the links here at Astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Maghavedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently teaching some of the best parts of the Nandinati. Instant predictions, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So, Mars in the 9th house in Cancer. Well, this is a, and here I'm going to be mixing the two concepts of Nadi and Parashi. Why not? Learn as much as you can, and then you learn the dynamics of everything, right? So, a very powerful position with Mars in the 9th. Okay. This is a position that in Parashri astrology is known as a position of Raj Yoga. Okay. And at the same time, this is a position where you're going to see this. The more you go towards dharmic things in life, the more you go towards dharmic things. Like suddenly you found your guru and that's it. This is my life, right? Or not even guru. I think that's a more of a extreme situation. But let's say you just become religious. The more religious this person becomes, the more obstacles and issues they face in their marriage. That's number one. Number two, the moment when you borrow money from the father, you create your enemies. You create competition. You create also health issues with the father. So what's the dynamic here? Is that whenever you borrow money from the father, number one, don't borrow money. Number two, don't ask for borrowing money. Say, give it to me. If that money is given on a notion that, here, you're my son or you're my daughter, here's the money. Yet later on, you bring that money back or any time. So fine, you have to borrow money, When you give that money back, don't give it exact same change to the father. Doesn't matter if it's your father, stepfather, mentor, guru. When you borrow money from them and you give it back, give always some more. Give always $1 more, 1 rupees more, 20 rupees more, $20 more. Never give the exact change. That's a trick of getting away from this. But you will see when you borrow money, these things will become active. Why? Because Mars is not only the ascendant lord, but it's the 6th lord in the 9th. Okay? This does not mean that father becomes the enemy in your case. That it will be seen how your son is. Here, what this shows is that certain activation of things in life will activate something else. That becomes that obstacle. Like usually you will see when you're 18, 19, you're ready to go to university and college, and now either you borrow money from the government, or if the parents are well off enough, they will pay for your education. Right? So if let's say that money that parents are putting in, if it's being lended to you, then this situation becomes active. But usually what happens is parents are always planning from a young age that, hey, my children are going to go to college, so I'm putting money on the side. And it's not the money that is known as borrowing. It's simply they give it to you. In that case, this worked. But usually during this time period, you will see sometimes you have to borrow money from parents to go to a trade school or something, and these things will become active. The other thing, same dynamics will play out when the younger brother borrows money from the father. When the husband, borrows money from your father, especially in a female's chart. Then also with Mars in the 9th house, one is going to be extremely stubborn about their belief system, very stubborn about what they will question. Why? Because especially at a young age, they will be emotionally damaged through some priest, through some sadhu, through some religious organizations, where when they grow up, that subconscious brain will always trigger some defense towards some religious places, sect. Okay. Like you will see, there's tremendous amount of favoritism when Mars is in the ninth house. There'll be this favoritism towards one group of people and not the other. And this will only be triggered when this person at young age, by the time they're 9, they will feel some discrimination by a religious or spiritual organization. Maybe because that day when you went to the temple, you were supposed to put something on top of your head, you didn't, and then the priest scolded you and told you to get out. Right? In India, they would do that. They probably still do it. They don't care about your feelings. And that kind of triggers this defense mechanism in you when you grow older. And this is where this fighting mentality comes into play. Unless there's some other benefic aspect or benefic situation that Mars is in. For example, if Mars is with Jupiter, Mars is being aspected by Jupiter, Mars is in Parivartana Yoga with the Moon. So that exchange is there of the energy. Okay. Or Mars, because Mars is in Cancer, it'll be Parivartana Yoga with Moon. So when that happens, then Mars is no longer behaving like it's there, so it won't do those particular things. But also in the ninth house, you will see when your younger brother goes to study, attain higher education, not bachelor's, postgrad education, higher education, this is where differences between the father and the younger brother will arise. And why it will arise? It will arise because of a relationship. Now, why did I say early on that marriage will be affected the more you go towards being dharmic? Because if you're a woman, Mars is going to represent the husband. If you are a male, then you're playing the role of Mars in your chart. I know Mars is your ascendant lord, but let's say you're a different ascendant with Mars in the ninth. Doesn't matter. You're playing the role of the husband. At one point in your life, you may get married if the combination is there. When you do that, you become a husband. So you're going to start playing that particular role. And if you have a younger brother, that is going to play that same role. Okay, and you will see you have a very strong emotional bond with the younger brother. You will always be there to kind of rescue and help the younger brother. You become a mother with the younger brother with this position. And usually with Mars in the ninth house, you will see somehow your roof will either be of red color, or in India, you will see people have like water tanks on the roof. They might have some red things on them, or especially you'll have a lot of copper items, something made of copper on your roof when Mars is in the ninth. And especially whenever, like for example, if you have Rahu Mars connection, you will see whenever roof of your home gets damaged, that's when you will see it'll trigger some fight with the father. Or if, like, for example, I actually had a chart with Mars Rahu in the ninth house. The moment they bought a piece of land, major issue in the family just started and with the father. Because with Mars Rahu, you're not supposed to have a barren land. You should, whenever you buy a piece of land, build some structure on it immediately. I don't even care if it's like 5 feet by 5 feet or 4 feet by 4 feet. But again, I'm going into combinations now, and then it's going to become a whole different new video. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Mars in the ninth house for Scorpio Sun and people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss this type of video. So you want to know where your Mars is placed along with all your astrology details, check out the links here, CuriousAstrology.com. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.